Yo, what is up, guys? So, should you have kids? This is a question that's posted on Blind, and someone from Google is asking the question, should they have kids? And so we're going to try to help him or her out. So let's dive into the article. So let's just dive right into the post. So it's titled, Should I Have Kids? He says, I'm anxious about having kids and the amount of work it requires, but feel like my life would be purposeless without it. I'm at the age where I need to decide. I'm exhausted after work every day. I can't imagine taking care of a kid after work and on the weekends. Anyone regret it or have anything that can help me decide? And looks like the group, and let's just go ahead and say, you know what, I'm gonna vote and say have kids, because I think that is something that most people want at some point. So we'll just go ahead and vote, and looks like 45.5% of people say don't have kids, and 41.6% say have kids, and then 12.9% have no opinion. All right, let's dive right in. I personally don't have kids. I have a lot of friends around me that do. My younger brother also had a kid last year, and their life has been challenging, to say the least, but it's also been some of the most joyous times that I've ever seen him, both my brother and also my sister-in-law. When a new bundle of life gets created and your time and your energy and your resources goes into keeping that little baby alive, it does something to you. And I visited my niece a couple times now, and every time I see her, she's growing up a little bit more. She is just a blast to be with, and just seeing her progression, her evolution from being a little infant to now a little toddler has been just a joyous thing. And it's something that I look forward to every time during the holidays when I get a chance to see them, whether it's down in SoCal or when they come up here, or even in Oregon, where my parents are. That being said, I know kids are not for everybody. Kids are a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of resources and costs. And so depending on where you live, if you're in the Bay Area, for example, daycare can set you anywhere from $2,200 to $2,800. I know this because I actually worked on the Google benefits team years ago and managed their sort of daycare center perk, which to me, is it really a perk if you're having to also pay for it? I know it was subsidized, but it's not cheap to maintain and keep a kid alive. I'll tell you that for sure. So kids are not for everybody. I know personality wise, some people love kids. They've been around kids their entire life. They've had big families. And so for them, they might be much more open to that idea, but not everyone is like that. A lot of people who are only childs, or people who just didn't really grow up around kids, or have sort of a biological incentive towards taking care of another human being and having a family, is something that is there for a lot of people. So you just need to figure out which camp you're in, figure out what kind of life you want. Like you said yourself, kids provide a sense of purpose, especially if you've achieved a lot of cool things in your professional career, can bring a lot of joy, a lot of heartache, and a lot of other things as well. I have a lot of family members and also friends who never had kids, and now they're at a point in their life where it's very difficult to have kids, whether it's because of old age or biological or medical problems. They just can't have kids for whatever reason. And a lot of them tell me that they regret it. They wish that they found someone at a younger age, or had kids when they had the ability to do so. And that's not a regret I think that a lot of people should look forward to. Live life without regrets. And if you have a heart for it, and you know that at some point you want a family and you want people close to you, and you want to be able to have something else that you can put your time, effort, and energy into, then I think having kids will be good for you long term. There's also a lot of uncertainty with having kids. You never know these days if a kid will turn out great because of all the societal pressures and the way that society has sort of shaped the world that we live in today. And I'm not going to go into all the political details, but you probably know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, I think it's still the biggest blessing in the world. And you never know if that next kid will be the next Einstein, or the next prodigy in whatever industry or domain that you're in. And so I think kids can be a tremendous blessing, and they can grow up to be really awesome for society. You mentioned that you're going through a lot of things at work and you're constantly tired. That's something that you also need to consider. Maybe you need a better work-life balance. Maybe you also need to prioritize your health and your fitness, so that you can prepare your body and your mental state so that you can have the capacity to be able to take care of another human being. So just because you're tired now doesn't mean you will be in the future, but you definitely want to be in a position where you have the energy to take care of a kid, because kids can be a huge energy and a time suck. So something to consider. Everyone's situation is going to be a little bit different. My personal take on it is I personally do want kids at some point. You definitely want to meet the right person and the right partner to be able to have kids with. You can do that on your own as well, but it's going to be 10 times harder. But if you do have family members and relatives close by that can help you out, that can also be a huge benefit. So don't neglect that if you do have that benefit. Anyways, guys, what kind of advice do you have for this person? Share your experience. If you've had kids before, or if you never had kids, do you regret it? Do you recommend it? Drop it in the comments down below and try to help this person out, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.